Hello, everyone. I'm Chuang. Let's color the Deinocheirus today. So far, we still don't know what the body surface of Deinocheirus would have looked like. As no fossils of any skin derivatives have been found, we don't know the color of its skin, or whether it's covered with feathers. All of the following views are inferred based on current knowledge. First of all, as a large animal, its neck might be bare. So when coloring the neck, we can consider using bright colors. Although Deinocheirus had small eyes, it doesn't mean they were not sensitive to color. Many feathered modern animals are quite sensitive to color, and this is also true for animals with small eyes. For example, some birds, or cursorial birds, boast beautiful feathers. We can adopt fancy colors for Deinocheirus, especially the bare skin part. We can refer to animals with bare skin today, such as cassowaries or some turkeys, which may have bright blue necks. Some parts of Deinocheirus' mouth, especially the front end, were covered in a layer of keratin, so like many birds today, its beak was probably bright yellow. Deinocheirus had a huge back sail. In our reconstruction, we made this sail covered with hairs, but as a prominent structure, it might be brightly colored, such as white, which was distinguished from other body parts, as seen in today's ostriches. Ostriches have white patches on the tail and wings for display. So we can consider using white color on the wings, the tail, and the back sail of Deinocheirus. The tail can be decorated with white stripes. As for other body parts, such as the bare parts, we can use the flesh tone. Now, let's color in this Deinocheirus. First, paint its belly and face with a soft color such as a flesh tone. Start with its face. First outline an area, probably here, and then fill it. Then move on to its belly, starting from its chest in this area. And the rear part of its belly probably ends here. Now move on to its legs. The lower leg wasn't covered with feathers, so we can paint this part flesh. And the same with the other leg. We can draw the underside of the tail a little bit to make it look like this color penetrates through. Next, we use dark gray to color the upper half of its body. We outline an area first, starting from its shoulders. The part in front of this part was its bare skin. Then we extend the line to this part of the feathers. And then move to the top of its back. For this area, we will use gray, and then we refine the edges. Then we can draw some stripes on its tail. And the rear part can be colored directly. For the edges of these stripes, we can draw some broken lines, and simply fill them in this area. Then we go back to color this block, including the back and the front part of the arms. After filling them in, paint the remaining area with light gray to make the body look more layered. we can use light gray for the feathers above the thighs. Since the feathers on the head were white, we can use light gray to paint the shadows to make them look more three-dimensional. Now let's move on to its back sail. For the base of the back sail, we can draw an area like this and fill it with light gray. Behind the back sail, we can draw a shaded area. Then on the surface, we can use fine lines to draw the slits between the feathers. Now, let's color the feathers. We can also use light gray to outline the slits between the feathers. Under the feathers, we can draw some shadings to make them look like they were bent over. The same goes for the tail feathers. Since the tail feathers weren't covering a large area, we can just draw the shadings along the back of the slits. Then, let's add more at the edge and the rear part. For the feathers on the inside, we can use a yellowish light gray to fill. Then move on to the feathers at the front part of its arms. First, we can draw an area like this. As light can partially penetrate the tips of these feathers, we can keep this part uncolored and shade the other parts like this. Now, let's color this finger light gray, and this finger as well. Then we color its neck light blue. Outline the contour first. Then fill in its neck like this. Use purple to draw a rim around its eyes to make the eye look more prominent. Then dab a bit of brown to the eye to highlight it. The area above its nose can be colored brown. For the beak, we go back to dark gray. We can also paint its claws dark gray, but try to leave a small highlighted area for the claws to make them have a different texture from the rest of the body. For the edges between the uncolored parts and the shadings, we can use yellow to give it some color and make the feathers look a bit worn. The same goes for this part on the wings as well as the tail. Finally, we color the water surface blue. When coloring, try to use horizontal strokes. We can leave out the area around the feet. Imagine when you are playing in the water splashes near your feet are often white, so try to leave out this area, and only paint the outer area with blue. When coloring, try to use horizontal lines, just to be consistent with the lines in our draft. Good, like this, we've finished coloring this